Hi there. Hi there, how are you?
Hello, how are you, Andrew?
Well, thanks. How about yourself?
Good. Did you have a good day today?
Oh, yeah, just, they all kind of blend into one another at this stage. What, 11 weeks into the quarantine inside my apartment, so yeah,
Yeah, they kind of do, don't they?
but that's okay. I'm getting through
I
it
do.
little
I
by
know. Tuesday, Saturday.
Hello?
It looks like you froze for just a second there, but you're back. I can see you again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you just said to me. Something about Tuesday and Saturday?
Oh, I just said Tuesdays are always seem to be the same as Saturdays, which seem to be the same as Mondays.
Indeed.
It's
Hi there.
a different, just different.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
How are
Hi,
you?
Diane.
I just listened to the whole memorial service.
Yeah, me too. It was pretty emotional, wasn't it?
Oh, I couldn't believe it. It was wonderful and it was super powerful. Yes.
Agreed. Agreed. Emotional day.
Hi.
Juliana.
Hi. How's everyone?
Hi, Juliana.
Hi. How are you?
Doing well. How are you today?
I'm good. I can't complain. How about you? How's everyone else?
Doing okay. Diane and I were just talking. George Floyd's memorial was today, and we both watched it. So it was kind of emotional. But
Oh, I'll have to watch it later. I've been crying like every single day for like a week. I just feel like I have to just let it out. I feel like a lot of, yeah, I feel like it's so easy to cry these days. Yeah.
Well, that's important.
What I found amazing is how much it's captured the attention and outrage of people like around the entire world, not just in the United States. Like it really feels like a global thing, not just an America thing, which is interesting. I didn't.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I hope it really causes change. I hope it's that powerful.
Yeah. Well, change often happens progressively now in little bits, in fits and starts. So yeah, but I feel that people definitely want change right now as well. All right, time for some Spanish, no? All right.
Sí.
So I thought the way that we could do things today is that we could all teach one another first, because Joanna and Catherine will be here, but a little bit later on, and they've both submitted texts that we're going to have a little look at. So we're going to start off by teaching one another a little bit in a warm-up, and since there are only 3 of us in class right now, we can just teach one another, no? So does anybody feel inspired, or am I going to choose a victim to start teaching today?
Well, I confess, with not being Tuesdays, I don't have anything new prepared besides what I did previously in May. So
it doesn't really matter. It's more just an opportunity to keep you teaching. So it doesn't really matter if you repeat. Have you got something prepared that could, like, seated warm-up style from last month?
You know, I'll dig that up. If someone else wants to start, I could always jump in after. I'd be happy to.
Perfect.
So I don't keep you waiting.
Okay. Diane, do you have something prepared there?
Well, I've been studying our notes, and I could give it a try with corrections of all of you, from all of you, of course.
Excellent.
Perfect.
So I
Spin my
could-
computer around.
and I'll be reading it, which I hate. I'll be happy when I don't have to read it. One of the things I've been trying really hard to do is have my Spanish flow better and not sound so choppy. I think that'll be really important when I'm someday teaching in Spanish, that it can just sound more natural and fluid instead of, I don't know, it doesn't sound natural to me. So you'll all notice what I'm talking about. Empezamos en una postura cómoda. Si quiere, puede buscar un bloque o un bolster o una manta. Y queremos inclinar nuestra pelvis hacia adelante y creamos una curvatura en la zona lumbar. Con piernas cruzadas. Sacamos los glúteos, rotamos los hombros hacia las orejas, hacia arriba, hacia atrás, hacia abajo. Y juntamos los omóplatos. Descansamos las palmas sobre las rodillas y vamos a comenzar con círculos muy despacio con el torso. Primero en una dirección, respirando al mismo tiempo que estamos girando. Y ahora al lado contrario, vamos a cambiar direcciones. Notamos el cuerpo, notamos cómo siente el cuerpo durante estos movimientos. Te puedes parar en una postura neutral con las manos encima de las rodillas de nuevo. Y ahora vamos a girar la cabeza al lado derecho. Vamos a no girar isn't good. What verb am I looking for? Vamos a
Inclinar.
inclinar la oreja derecha hacia el hombro y muy lentamente vamos a cambiar al otro lado. La oreja izquierda hacia el hombro. Y puedes regresar vamos a hacerlo una vez más en cada lado. Y regresamos la cabeza a la posición neutral. Okay. Inhalamos, alargamos la columna. Exhalamos, caminamos las manos hacia adelante.
So I'll just put you there, Diane. I think you need a verb first of all, like colocamos las manos en la tierra en copa, for example.
Okay. Great idea. Colocamos las manos en la tierra en copa delante de su cuerpo y puede inclinar hacia adelante.
Inclinar what?
La espalda.
O inclinarte.
Inclínate hacia el mar. Y nos inclinamos hacia la colchoneta. Puede descansar la cabeza en la colchoneta y respira 2 respiraciones. Caminamos las manos hacia a la derecha. Si
Now,
quiere,
focus. Hacia means towards. Are you going to combine it with the word to as well? Is it hacia a la derecha or is it just hacia la derecha?
hacia la derecha. Vamos a colocar las manos hacia la derecha y puede colocar una palma encima de la otra. Would you like that, Andrew? Encima de la otra.
Yeah, that's good.
Y estiramos, nos estiramos. Okay. Caminamos las manos enfrente del cuerpo, en el centro, y ahora al lado contrario. Vamos a caminar nuestras manos al lado izquierda, colocando la mano derecha encima de la mano izquierda. Respira. Okay. Regresamos al centro y caminamos las manos acerca de nuestro cuerpo. Que ahorita llevamos los brazos hacia adelante y flexión hacia arriba. Ok, llevamos los brazos hacia arriba y flexionamos los codos en
Cactus.
¿cómo?
Cactus.
Cactus, eso, en cactus. Y juntamos los omóplatos y de nuevo elevamos los brazos hacia el cielo. Okay, ahora vamos a girar a la derecha. Colocamos la mano derecha detrás del cuerpo, detrás de la espalda, y con la mano izquierda pueden colocarlo encima de la rodilla, girando de la cintura. Muy liviana, no muy fuerte. Sea suave con su cuerpo. Brazos arriba en el centro. Inhalamos. Exhalamos. La mano derecha detrás de la espalda. Mano izquierda detrás de la espalda. Mano derecha encima de la rodilla, mientras estamos girando para atrás. Regresamos al centro. And now it's someone else's turn. So, okay, colocamos las manos encima de las piernas y le toca a otra persona.
Well done, Diane. Excellent work.
Thank you. I feel like I have a really long way to go.
No, but you were so fluid and confident today. I really loved it. It's like a new Diane.
It's like an inchworm of. I want to sound like Vicky and Juliana someday.
You were wonderful. You're wonderful. Nicely done.
Juliana, I think you're on mute. Would you like to continue?
I was talking and I didn't even realize it. Good job, Diane.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's my turn. Okay. Empezamos en una postura cómoda con las piernas cruzadas. Sacamos los glúteos. Am I pronouncing that right?
Glúteos.
Glúteos. Glúteos.
I think I said glúteos too. Glúteos.
The accent is on the U. Glúteos.
Glúteos. Glúteos. Sacamos los glúteos. Inclinamos la pelvis hacia adelante. Rotamos los hombros hacia las orejas, hacia atrás y abajo. Inhalamos, traemos los brazos hacia el cielo. Juntamos las palmas. Exhalamos, traemos las palmas enfrente de nuestro corazón. Cierra los ojos aquí si se siente bien. Inhalamos, alcanza los brazos hacia el cielo.
Alcanza, remember, is that one forbidden verb. You
Oh.
can't estira, eleva, but alcanza, no.
Estira.
Yeah. Because alcanzar means to kind of literally touch something, to reach and grab something.
Okay.
Como si fuera alcanzando el cielo. No?
Alcanzando al cielo would mean like reaching and touching the sky.
Yeah, como si fuera. Como si fuera.
Yeah, in that case, you could. You're making it into a metaphor.
But I like her alcanzar. Well, anyway.
Inhalamos, estira los brazos hacia el cielo. Exhalamos, palmas enfrente de nuestro corazón. Inhalamos, repetimos con los brazos hacia el cielo. Junta las palmas. Cierra los ojos y exhalamos las palmas enfrente de nuestro corazón. Cierra los ojos here. Cierra los ojos aquí. Inhalamos profundamente por la nariz y exhalamos por la boca. Abra los ojos aquí. Inhalamos, traemos los brazos hacia el cielo. Exhalamos, colocamos la mano derecha hacia la tierra. Inhalamos, extiende tu brazo izquierdo hacia arriba. Exhalamos, volvemos al centro. Inhalamos aquí. Y exhalamos por el otro lado. Traemos la mano izquierda hacia la tierra. Inhalamos, extiende tu brazo derecha hacia arriba. Mira al cielo. Inhalamos aquí. Y exhalamos por el centro. Repetimos cada lado 3 veces más. So, inhalamos hacia el lado derecho. Extendemos el brazo izquierdo. Miras el cielo. Y exhalamos por el centro. Repetimos el otro lado. Inhalamos el lado izquierdo. Abre el pecho, miras el cielo, extiende tu columna y exhalamos por el centro. Exhalamos, soltamos las palmas hacia la tierra. Inhalamos en 4 apoyos o mesa neutral.
Neutral.
Neutral. Notamos que los hombros están arriba de las muñecas y las caderas sobre tus rodillas. Vamos a tomar una respiración aquí. So, inhalamos y exhalamos. Inhalamos en postura de vaca. Abrimos el pecho, traemos los hombros arriba y abajo. Miramos el cielo. Y exhalamos en postura de gata. Redondeamos nuestra columna y miramos a nuestro ombligo. Inhalamos, proyectamos la luz hacia adelante en vaca. Exhalamos, metemos el pelvis adentro en gato. Repetimos en vaca-gato, en vaca-gato, por 3 veces más. So, inhalamos, abrimos el pecho y exhalamos, rodamos la columna. Inhalamos, sientes el sol y exhalamos. Miras a tu ombligo. Soltamos aquí en neutral.
Neutral.
Neutral. Does that sound correct?
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay. Regresamos en mesa neutral. Neutral, sorry. Y exhalamos, levantamos las rodillas y muy suavecito empezamos a extender nuestras piernas, pero boca abajo. This next part, I wasn't sure if it was correct or not, but you can tell me. Okay, caminamos nuestros talones en la colchoneta, estirando detrás de las piernas.
I think it would be make more sense to say estiramos uno y el otro talón hacia la colchoneta. Yeah? O caminamos lentamente los talones. Yeah? Something like that. O caminamos lentamente con los talones estirando las piernas.
Con las talones. What was that last word?
So, caminamos lentamente con los talones extendiendo. My wife just pokes her head through the hole in the floor here and is correcting my Spanish. Say hello, Tanya.
No.
Okay. So now, so estirando detrás de las piernas, we're in downward facing. Estamos en pero boca abajo. Y caminamos lentamente con los talones, extendiendo las piernas. Inhalamos, doblamos las rodillas, miramos hacia adelante y exhalamos, rodamos hacia adelante en plancha. Nos quedamos aquí, inhalamos aquí por 3, 2, 1, exhalamos hacia atrás en perro boca abajo. Inhalamos, vamos a hacerlo otra vez. Doblamos las rodillas y rodamos hacia adelante en plancha.
Rodar is a verb that works here. I think venimos is better. Venimos adelante a la plancha. O vamos.
What, pelimos?
Venimos is fine. It's from venir, V-E-N-I-R, venimos, which means to come. Yeah? Because rodar, again, doesn't really work. Rodar is what a wheel does, right?
Okay, so we would say doblamos las rodillas y Venimos hacia adelante.
Damos las rodillas, because doblar is what I'm doing right now. This is rodillas dobladas, yeah? So I would say flexionamos las rodillas. So it's just a bend in the knees, no more.
Oh, I had that the first time, but I second guessed myself and I changed all of them to doblamos.
Doblar is what you do when you're kneeling down. This is a fold, right, in my legs.
Okay, so flexionamos las rodillas y venimos hacia adelante en plancha. Nos quedamos aquí por 3, 2, 1. Exhalamos, extendemos las caderas hacia el cielo, pero boca abajo. Inhalamos, repetimos 3 veces en esta secuencia. Secuencia. 3 veces en esta secuencia. Inhalamos y exhalamos. Exhalamos pero boca abajo. Flexionamos las rodillas, miramos hacia adelante y empezamos a caminar hacia las manos en postura. How do you say forward fold?
Pues eso es la pinza, ¿no?
Postura
I've heard la pinza, en la postura de la pinza, or just say Uttanasana. You can use the Sanskrit word, Uttanasana.
Uttanasana.
Yeah. Because this is Ardha Uttanasana. So if you've walked between your hands, you're probably in Ardha Uttanasana, and then you have to fold into Uttanasana.
Mm-hmm. Uttanasana. And that's what I have. And that ends my sequence.
That was great.
Awesome.
Really good.
Yay.
Really good.
Good work.
I can hear the progress.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Good. Well done. Thank you so much, Liana. Vicky, would you like to guide something? It can be whatever you like.
Sure. Are you able to hear me okay? I feel like my connection's kind of going in and out. So when I was listening, it was freezing. So I didn't know if that was happening. If you can hear me, I'll do it and just assume that you've got me.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So, un momento, gracias. I thought I had it, and no sé a dónde estamos. Okay, here we go. So, movemos a 4 apoyo. Los manos debajo de los hombros y las rodillas debajo.
Oh, and she's gone.
I didn't notice her freezing before, but she must have been.
Yeah, I think it's not a good internet connection. Any questions while we're waiting for Vicky to reappear?
I wonder if she knows that we can't.
Oh,
I think what I'll do, I'm gonna leave and try to log back in. Maybe that would help.
and if you go next to the router as well, it'll probably give you a better connection.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. Sorry, friends. I'll be
No.
back.
Andrew, am I seeing a mountain out your window?
Yeah, those are the mountains of Medellin.
Oh, I want to have a field trip there in 2 years. I think next year it's too soon, but
Yeah, it could be. Well, we'll see. This is a spectacular looking city though. I mean, especially if you can get into the cable cars, which did you go up to Parque RV, Juliana, when you were here? That's a really beautiful ride, right? On the cable car.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was the first time I ever experienced that for like public transportation.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I mean, they're one of the things that people here are really proud about, the metro system and the cable cars. They've also got a tram, and they've got like electric stairs as well in some of the neighborhoods. Um,
Oh, yeah. I experienced that too. And I also rode the subway there, and it was super clean and I felt super safe. And also, what was the other thing that you just mentioned? Oh, the
electric
escalators
stairs.
neighborhood. Yeah, that was really cool and interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's all about like architecture of inclusion at the end of the day, because one of the problems historically was that the poorer neighborhoods were just kind of cut off from a lot of the rest of the city. So it's really hard for people to move from the outskirts into the center. And so it really was a huge help, and cut down on people's commute times. They didn't have to like take 3 buses to get into the center of the city. They could just hop like on a metro, like on one of the cable cars, and then into the metro and be in the city within like 30 minutes, which is great.
Well, will you give us a tour of the yoga studio and the places where people stay sometime with your phone?
Oh, so this is my house. This is not the yoga studio. Um, but at some point I'll be able to do that for sure.
Welcome back, Vicky.
Can you see me and hear me better?
Much better.
Oh, much better.
Okay, who knows what that was? Sorry about that.
All right, we were on cuatro apoyos, but you need to say
Okay,
las manos, las manos.
las manos. Gracias. Okay. So we're movemos a cuatro apoyo, bla, bla, bla. Inhalamos, exhalamos. Y vaca y gato. Inhalamos, proyectamos el pecho hacia el frente y miramos arriba. Exhalamos gato, redondeamos la columna y miramos a un ombligo. 3 veces más con la respiración. Vaca, inhalamos. Gato, exhalamos. 2 veces más por. Excelente. Arqueamos la columna. Redondeamos la columna. Inhalamos. Exhalamos. Volvemos al centro y mantenemos la columna neutral. Abramos el abdomen. Inhalamos, estiramos el brazo derecho hacia adelante, altura de hombro. Exhalamos, sostenemos la postura. Inhalamos, subimos la pierna izquierda hacia atrás, altura de la cadera. Exhalamos, bajamos ambas, volvemos 4 apoyo. Repetimos con el otro lado. Estiramos el brazo izquierdo hacia adelante y exhalamos, sostenemos la postura. Oh, I probably should have had you just go right into both arm and leg instead of having you hold, right? Would have been smoother?
I think it's fine either way. I mean, it's good core work to keep just the arm raised and nothing else.
Okay, so let's do that. You've got your arm raised, lo siento. Estiramos el brazo izquierdo. Sostenemos la postura. Y en la próxima inhalamos, subimos la pierna derecha hacia atrás. Excelente. Exhalamos, bajamos ambas y volvemos 4 apoyo. Repetimos 3 veces más, por favor. Inhalamos.
I think that
Mhm.
it's a little difficult to say repetimos 3 veces más because you had multiple parts. So
Okay.
I wonder, maybe, yeah, if you are going to say repetimos, it's best just to make it one movement, like inhale, extend the right arm and left leg, change sides, repeat 3 times more. Does that make sense?
It does. Could I say something like ahora con la respira?
Con la respiración.
Respiración. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So let's do, volvemos a neutral in cuatro apoyo.
And it's cuatro apoyos with an S because they're plural, right?
I never have written that way. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to try to cue thread the needle again. I tried that before and I feel like I kind of stuttered on it. Colocamos la mano izquierda en el centro de la colchoneta. Giramos el torso hacia derecha y levantamos el brazo hacia el cielo.
I would switch those cues around. I would first of all say, levantamos el brazo derecho y giramos el torso hacia la derecha. Yeah? Because it's difficult to turn the torso without first lifting the hand.
Okay, that makes sense. Excelente. So, let's see. Colocamos la mano izquierda en el centro de la colchoneta. Inhalamos y levantamos el brazo derecho y giramos el torso hacia el cielo. Miramos hacia la mano. Exhalamos, pasamos debajo del hombro izquierdo y giramos también.
So you need an object there, right? So you need to say something along the lines of pasamos la mano derecha debajo del hombro izquierdo. Yeah? Hey, Joanna.
Okay.
Hi.
And do I need to say, hi, Joanna? Do I need to say something with giramos también, or does it make sense? Like pasamos la mano derecho.
So here's what I would
Otra vez.
So we're here,
okay.
And I would say pasamos la mano derecha debajo del hombro izquierdo y apoyamos el hombro sobre la tierra. Yeah, because or are you not touching the floor with the shoulder?
I was going to do, in the end, I was going to do like 2 of those going up and down, and then, but no, that helps. And I had used reposamos, but I can use apoyamos.
Yeah. Well, reposamos means rest, like to kind of repose, like to kind of let something rest. But so in that context, you can say, pasamos la mano derecha debajo del hombro izquierdo, pausamos, inhalamos y subimos la mano. Keep it simple, don't get overly technical.
Okay, gracias. Now that we have the other ladies joining us, do you want to jump to tonight's stuff, or do you want me to keep going? I'm fine either way.
We'll finish off with what you're doing, and then we'll go into what we're doing this evening, okay?
Okay. Okay, friends. So, 4 apoyos. Otra vez, por favor. Y colocamos la mano izquierda en el centro de la colchoneta. Inhalamos, levantamos el brazo derecho hacia el cielo. Miramos hacia la mano aquí. Exhalamos, pasamos la mano derecha debajo del hombro izquierdo. Inhalamos, levantamos el brazo derecho hacia el cielo. Exhalamos, pasamos debajo del hombro. Una vez más. Inhalamos, levantamos, exhalamos. Y aquí apoyamos aquí con el hombro derecho en el suelo. 2 respiraciones aquí. Inhalamos, presionamos la mano izquierda en el suelo y alcanzamos el brazo hacia el cielo.
No, alcanzar.
Okay.
Alcanzar is
Levantamos. Say that once more.
alcanzar is the forbidden verb. We can't use it like we do in English.
Okay. Should I use levantamos again?
Levantamos, elevamos, estiramos,
Okay.
subimos, alzamos.
Gracias. Y then volvemos al centro, and I would have repeated it on the other side, but
Great.
we're good.
Perfect.
Gracias.
Well done, Vicky. Okay.
Andrew, can I ask another alcanzar question, please?
Tell me.
So if I can't reach something, I say, this is what I do say, no puedo alcanzarlo.
Uh-huh.
Is that okay?
That's perfect. Yeah, because alcanzar means to be able to actually get something, right? To be able to actually touch something. So, for example, if you're trying to, find something in the cupboard, ay, es que yo no alcanzo ahí, yeah? Or if you're not able to do something, es que no tuve tiempo, no alcancé a mirar, las notas de la clase. Like I didn't kind of, I wasn't able to. You can almost use it like that. But alcanzar, meaning like to reach and to stretch, that doesn't work, right? Because in English, we always say, reach the hands overhead, reach behind you. But when we're saying reach in that context, what we're really saying is stretch. Does that make sense?
It does now.
All
It
right.
does after today. I'm glad we talked about this a lot.
Yeah. Any other questions from practice today? Hi there. How are you doing, Catherine?
Hi, sorry to be late.
No worries. Okay. So we were just doing a little bit of practicing in group for the first part of class. And what I want to share with you now for the second part of class is presentation. So let me see. Okay, so we're just going to have a very quick look.
We can't hear you, Andrew. Andrew, can anyone hear him?
No.
Oh, I can't hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I was just blocking the microphone with my hand. All right, so can everybody see the text?
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Oh, is that one mine?
I wasn't going to name any names, but yeah.
Oh. Oh dear.
Let's just take a very quick look at some of the language here. We're not going to go through the whole thing, but just to get a sense of what people are writing. So, comenzamos. First of all, just a couple of spelling errors there. So it has a Z in it. Comenzar. Comenzamos.
My every time I type, it auto corrects.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna see a lot of errors.
But you can add Spanish as a language into your word processing.
Oh, I didn't.
You can use. I mean, that's what I've done in my phone and in my. Because otherwise, it just drives me nuts. Like it just autocorrects everything. All right.
And if you the U.S. International Keyboard, that is wonderful. It's unless you have an Apple. Oh,
Apple.
then it's easy anyway.
Okay, I'll see if I can try to add that in.
So, comenzamos en una postura cómoda sobre un bolster o un bloque con las piernas cruzadas. Fine. Cerramos los ojos, inhalamos profundamente y exhalamos. And you could even add like a bit of variation here, totalmente. Yeah, just to add a little bit of flavor.
Okay.
Observamos nuestra respiración, nuestra Should there be an E in there by any chance? Observe our breath and our posture.
Yeah.
Y nuestra
Nuestra.
Okay. Entrelazamos los dedos. Inhalamos y estiramos los brazos hacia adelante y arriba. y alargamos la columna. Nice, very good. Exhalamos, bajamos, that looks almost Portuguese. Bajamos with the J, los brazos. De nuevo, repite 3 veces. Good. Colocamos el antebrazo y la palma derecha al lado del mat. What are you trying to say there, Joanna?
I'm trying to say to lower your right forearm and palm to your side on the mat.
Yeah. So first of all, because generally, I mean, you're coming into a side stretch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So some people can't, I mean, a lot of people actually can't actually get their forearm onto the floor. So I would...
Or maybe like on a block or a bolster.
Even then, a lot of people have very limited lateral flexibility. So I would start always with the palm. So let's just say colocamos la palma derecha al lado de las caderas en el mat, right? And that way it sounds a little bit better. Si quieres, puedes bajar todo el antebrazo. También. And that way you've given people the option. Does that make sense?
Puedes bajar, si quieres, puedes bajar todo el antebrazo.
Yeah? Right. So, inhalamos. Enrollamos los
Can I get them? Because that's
Hello?
just an that's just an option if that's the sequence, and instead of saying if you want, maybe let's use a modification.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as you like. But either way, I would talk about the hand before you talk about the forearm. Okay. So now, enrollamos. Enrollar is like if I had a towel and I wanted to kind of roll it up or something.
Sorry,
like that.
someone's ringing at my doorbell. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
All right. So, I think better than enrollar would be rotamos las costillas inferiores hacia arriba, relajamos el cuello, inhalamos y observamos la sensación, and instead of saying del, en, note the feeling in el lado lateral del torso. Well, there's an easier way of saying el lado lateral is just del torso is just el costado.
I always make things more complicated, and people are always saying, just say this.
Yeah. So as I was saying, Joanna, enrollar is like for a towel. You roll up your towel, right? Put it away in the cupboard. So rotar is the verb you're looking for there. Inhalamos, rotamos las costillas inferiores hacia arriba, relajamos el cuello, inhalamos y observamos la sensación en el costado izquierdo. Because, I mean, you're using a lot of words there to say the side of the body. So just say the side of the body, yeah? Exhalamos profundamente, inhalamos y colocamos nuestra mano derecha sobre nuestra cabeza y empujamos despacito hacia el centro. So we're doing this.
No.
What are we doing? Ah, yeah, I understand now. So, inhalamos y colocamos nuestra mano derecha sobre nuestra cabeza y empujamos. Volvemos. Despacio. And just despacio. Despacito sounds a little odd in this context here.
Okay.
It sounds a little bit reggaetonero. All right. So, volvemos despacio hacia el centro. Repite con el lado izquierdo. Repite con el lado izquierdo. Good. Okay. So we're going to have a very quick look at Catherine's text now. That was very good, Joanna. Well done. Okay, so empezamos en una postura cómoda con las piernas cruzadas. Podemos sentar en un bloque o en un bolster. Catherine, what is missing after the verb?
Oh, sobre. Right?
No. En
Oh.
fine. Something else is missing.
Sentarnos.
Ah, the object. Podemos sentarnos en un bloque o en un bolster. Sacamos los isquiones. Now, you can't sacar your isquiones. Your isquiones don't move, hopefully. So, if you're going to sacar something, I think it would be los glúteos.
Los glúteos. Okay. So then I would say separamos los isquiones. Like separate your sit bones.
Again, hopefully you can't separate your sit bones. So separamos los glúteos. The glutes are the part that move, right? Your pelvis should hopefully have very little movement in it, ideally. So what you could say is enraizamos los isquiones. That you can do. Hacia la tierra. Okay? Inhalamos, rotamos los hombros hacia las orejas, hacia arriba. So that's already saying upwards, right? Hacia las orejas is already hacia arriba. So what I would say is hacia las orejas, hacia atrás y hacia abajo. De nuevo, inhalamos, rotamos los hombros y juntamos los omóplatos. Fine. Con la exhalación relajamos los hombros y sentimos la energía. So what are you trying to say here?
I think I meant to say, like, send your energy towards the ground. So
yeah. Y mandamos la energía hacia la tierra. Yeah, why not? Inhalamos, elevamos los brazos a la altura de los hombros y separamos los dedos. Exhalamos, alargamos la columna y giramos las manos hacia el cielo. So, do you mean like the palms?
Yes.
Yeah, and then I would say las palmas hacia el cielo. Repetimos 3 veces. Good. Cambiamos la dirección. Very nice. Con brazos fuertes, sentimos la diferencia con... Now, what are you trying to say here?
I was like, this is a stretch sentence for me. I was trying to say something like, you know, like notice the difference just by this small movement. Like something along those lines.
So, sentimos la diferencia que hemos creado con este pequeño movimiento. So, feel the difference that we have made with this small movement. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, better. Okay. What about con brazos fuertes? What are you trying to say there?
I feel like sometimes I teach in not incomplete sentences, I guess. So like, I feel like with, you know, like strong, I say things like cueing, like strong arms, strong legs. So I was trying to say like, as you're doing this, like hold your arms strong and start to feel the difference that the small movement.
Activa tus brazos.
Okay.
I like that. I like the strong arm thing too. I think I did that, but it must not work in Spanish.
You can be very direct in Spanish without losing grammatical structure. That's the thing. Just find the right verb. Yeah? So activamos los brazos y sentimos la diferencia que hemos creado con este pequeño movimiento. All right, good. We're going to leave it there for today. And we're going to look at a simple guide to cueing. So can everybody see the presentation there? Okay, so here's my little spiel. So we can often get a little bit lost when building up cues into complete postures. There's a lot of things that you can talk about. So think about your downward facing dog. You can talk about the hands, the activation of the fingertips, spreading of the fingers. You can talk about rotating the forearms in, biceps out, micro bend in the elbows. You can talk about rotating the shoulders up and down. You can talk about length along the side body. You can talk about lifting the sit bones, stretching the back of the legs, stretching the heels. It's a ton to talk about. And I think one of the real problems that people have when they're creating yoga cues in a foreign language is that they get too complicated. Yeah? They just make things too difficult for themselves. So, what I would like you to focus on is this technique that I'm going to teach you today. So first, focus on bringing students quickly and efficiently into a pose. And I can tell you, it's so frustrating, especially if you're a bit more of an experienced practitioner, hanging around for minutes and minutes and minutes while a teacher just lists this massive length of pre-memorized phrases. Yeah? Don't do it. Bring people quickly into a posture and then refine them when they actually get into the posture. Yeah? Make your cues very simple and to the point. Demonstrate physically if necessary, if there's confusion. Yeah? When you've got more time to develop the posture, at that point, you can begin to use slightly more complex language, but only when people are in a posture, right? Always remember, Sthira Sukhamasanam, that a posture should be steady and comfortable. And that should always be the little guide that you've got in your head. How am I cueing this posture? Well, I want to make it first steady, and then I want to make it comfy. All right? So first of all, sthira, create a stable base using simple action words. Yeah? Then guide people into the full pose and perhaps mention any energetic actions such as hugging into the midline, squeezing the thighs, rotating the shoulders, whatever it is that you want to do. Then the third thing is talk about the sukham part of Sthira Sukhamasanam, the comfort. So we're trying to find space in the posture. We're trying to expand the energy from the center of the body out to the periphery and create comfort and ease. Does that make sense? So much as you would in English, right? And then finally, you want to use this mixture of active and passive language. So you create an action and then you invite awareness and reflection, and then you can weave in the themes or the virtues. Questions so far? Is that very different from the methods that any of you use in English? Those of you who are experienced yoga teachers.
No.
No, at the beginning they always say keep it simple.
For sure. I feel like it gets like the more difficult the classes you're giving that are more like for more advanced students, I feel like the teaching gets kind of easier. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's more difficult to teach beginners.
Yeah, it can be. Especially when selecting the right language to use, the class doesn't just kind of grind to a halt. And I think you need to be even more aware of that in Spanish. So let's have a look at this in action, okay? So let me see if I can actually, just give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can build all of this in. Okay, so let's try again. Okay, so this is the technique that's going to help us in our cues. Okay, so first of all, think about the simple action that you want to cue. So for example, I might have decided that I want to cue lifting the torso, okay? Now, I'm going to consider the verb in Spanish that works best. So my phrase is lift the torso. Okay, elevar. Elevar is the verb that I'm going to choose. Then I'm going to build a sentence using the verb, and I'm going to use breath plus verb plus object plus direction, and then if the posture name is necessary, talk about the posture name. So the breath, inhalamos, y elevamos, where is the object? El torso. Do I need to talk about a direction? No. Elevar already expresses the direction, and then again, whatever posture name I want. So, for example, here's Warrior 2. First of all, I'm going to focus on creating a stable base, okay? And then I'm going to use the technique. So I want to talk about the alignment of the feet to create a stable base. Now, The verb alinear really works very nicely in this context. Now I'm going to build my sentence. So, alineamos el talón del pie delantero con el arco del pie trasero. Who can translate that for me?
Line your heel with your front foot, with the arc of your front foot.
So, align, and then the object is the heel of your front foot with the arch of your back foot. So we're talking about heel to arch alignment there, basically, right? Okay, so I've created my stable base, okay? I know that in English I could say 59 more things to create a stable base, but I'm going to limit myself there because I'm working in a foreign language. The next thing is I want to bring people into the full pose. So what am I going to do to bring people into the full pose? I want to raise the torso and open the arms. Next, verb, subir and abrir work very nicely here. Now I create the sentence. Breath, inhalamos y subimos el torso, abrimos los brazos en posture name, guerrero dos, sorry, not guerrero uno. Yeah, okay. So I've got the stable base. I've now got my full pose. What comes next? I want to talk about expanding the energy, finding comfort and space. So I want to expand the energy out from the center, and the verb expandir is going to work really nicely here. So, expandimos la energía desde nuestro corazón hacia los dedos de las manos. Who can translate that for me?
Expand the energy of your heart toward your fingers.
Yeah, expand the energy from our heart towards our fingers. So from the center of the body out to the periphery. Good. Finally, I'm going to provide an opportunity for reflection. So I'm going to use passive or introspective language to create awareness. And the verb observar is going to work perfectly here. So, observamos el espacio que hemos creado en el pecho. Okay, so I've got 4 cues, no more, for my standing postures. Alineamos el talón del pie delantero con el arco del pie trasero. Inhalamos y subimos el torso, abrimos los brazos en guerrero 2. Expandimos la energía desde nuestro corazón hacia los dedos de las manos y observamos el espacio que hemos creado en el pecho. Easy, no? And that's it. That's it. So when you're guiding your standing postures, that's the technique that I want you to use. Stable base, full pose, find space, reflection. Okay? So I'm going to divide you into your groups now to do a little bit of writing work. Okay? And you're going to take the thing that I shared with all of you in the email. You're going to choose a pose. Okay? So let's say you might choose tree pose. You're then going to talk about the stable base. Okay, so let's say in tree pose, I want to talk about bringing the weight into the right foot. I then want to, for the full pose, place the left foot on the inner thigh, hands to prayer. Okay, now I want to root into the floor to rise. Okay, finally, I want to create awareness, but we'll come to that afterwards. So let's go back to our stable base. Now, in terms of bringing the weight into the right foot, the verb traer works very nicely, okay? So, traemos, object, el peso, in the direction, hacia el pie derecho. Easy. Sentence 1 is done, yeah? Okay, coming into the full pose. I want to place the left foot on the inner thigh and join my hands in prayer. So the verbs colocar and juntar work here perfectly. So colocamos la planta del pie izquierdo en el muslo. Juntamos las palmas en el corazón. Sentence 2, finished. Okay. I want to root into the floor to rise. So, enraizamos. And, yeah, I think enraizamos will do nicely there. So, enraizamos el pie en el suelo. Now, I want to rise up y crecemos hacia el corazón. Finally, provide an opportunity. Here I'm going to use the verb observar. So, what am I going to talk about in tree pose? Maybe observe the challenge of balancing. So, observamos el reto de buscar equilibrio en esta postura. Y voilà, that's it. Does that make sense, the technique?
Yes, are you going to give us a template when we do our next?
In the email that I sent you this afternoon.
Okay, I'll have to locate that.
All right. So I'm going to split you now into 2 groups. And what I'd like you to do with the remaining, well, let's say 20 minutes now, is to maybe go through 2, possibly 3 postures if you have time, and work through within that template, okay? And create a couple of standing postures in Spanish. Does anybody have any questions?
I just have a quick question for how you might start this, right? So is this something where you would say like, vamos a hacer la postura de árbol, and then you start cueing the stable base?
Why not?
Because sometimes I think the transitions are where I get a little tongue-tied in Spanish.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I often recommend naming postures before you come into them, because that way people who have already done a couple of yoga classes, they know, oh, tree pose. Yeah, right. I know how to get there. And they'll make your life a lot easier for you as a result.
Okay, thanks.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to divide you now into 2 groups. Have a look in your email for the template. Do let me know if you can't find it. Just send me a message.
I'm looking for it right now.
So it's in the very last email that I sent with the correction for the class link.
Okay.
Towards the bottom.
Yeah, I have to.
You know what? I haven't actually got, because this is a different Zoom account that I'm using here, I haven't actually got breakout groups enabled, which is an issue. So, do you think we can do it as a group of 5 together? All
That's
right.
fine. I have to.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So I'm going to put myself on silent, and I'm going to put my camera off, so as if I'm in there in the background, but this is your chance to work. All right? And then we can share at the end.
I'm going to look for my template really quick, everybody. So go ahead and don't wait for me, of course.
Okay, does anybody have any suggestions on a pose?
We do pyramid.
Yeah.
Did you say pyramid?
Pyramid fold.
Let's do it.
Too hard. Wait, hold on.
I know. I love it.
Like a nice.
I'm down for something a little more difficult.
because we did Warrior 1, we did Warrior 2, we did Tree.
What about is eagle pose way too out there? Is that crazy?
I think triangle is
No.
more. I'm sorry, pyramid's more like standing. Then
Okay.
it might be easier to add like arms, right? To it. Eagle arms.
Let's start with pyramid. And if we have time, we'll go to another.
Okay.
All right, so our pose is pyramid.
Ars Photonasana.
Mm-hmm. So what do we want to talk about first? Like what is the, we want to talk about the base, where our feet are.
Yep. So are we starting this from like Tadasana?
Well,
Get us into the
we
pose.
just have to I think talk about the base, like what verb we're gonna use.
Right. Like, I mean, if we're in Tadasana, step the feet back, widen your stance, back foot, you know?
I think that what Vicky's saying is that we don't have to worry about the transition. So just like act like your feet are there.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
then
like choose a word, like like
take your hips
alinear
towards the
or
front of the room, whatever. Like start like your
Yeah.
feet are in the right place.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. So, let's see.
So if wherever we want our feet, we just have to choose a verb like alinear or wherever. Like, do we want to line up our feet in a certain way or?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you want to rotate your hips towards the front, right? Like that's something.
Well, we need to start at the base though, at the feet.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Do it. I feel like. So like, no. Let me see. Well, you have to have your feet apart. About like, we talk about how far we want the feet apart from each other, or no? Is that not what?
Well, we just need a verb. And if there's a verb for that, as far as like space.
Stance.
Separamos. Separar.
Separamos los pies.
Separar is a verb, and then another verb. What can be another verb? Separamos.
And rooting.
Well, I wonder if we could, just an idea, if we could kind of steal his idea and use a linear, like line the heel of the front foot with the arch of the back foot. So we could use separar and alinear.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the pose, right? Having that foot position.
Depends on the person. Okay. Separamos.
Separar, or what was the other word?
You said alineamos, right?
Alineamos.
Yeah, I was just thinking of getting the feet in the exact, like I like the separating of them and then just lining them up.
So you mean lining them up like how? Because in this pose, you mean like lining them up so that the toes are facing forward?
I meant usually maybe I'm forgetting the feet posture. I think isn't the back one at a little bit of an angle and the front one is straight ahead? That's what I meant. Like
that's why I was asking you to line up.
Well, align the front heel up with the back arch.
Front heel with the back arch?
Kind of like you would for Warrior 1. Does that make sense or no?
A little bit closer. Just closer. Oh, also, I mean, you cue here that you can push your...
How about, I mean, I don't know, maybe maybe we do it differently, because I usually like I step back and then my back foot like is slightly angled, my hip is rotated, and then then you do the pose. So
Exactly. Yep.
is really hard.
Should we choose a different pose?
No, just a different verb. It's okay. Separata is great.
Yeah, I think the issue is that it wasn't, it's not aligning with your back arch. It's like the back of your foot.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only difference that we had there. So
Perfect.
separate your feet hip width apart, or align your heel.
Align your heels, should we say? Alinear los talones. I'm okay with the different verb, guys. I just don't care.
Piernas y alineamos los talones.
Perfecto.
So we're writing for our stable base, alineamos los talones. That's what I put under the verb alinear is our verb. Using the thing.
Alinear, yeah.
And I think we had separar as well, we wanted to say.
Separamos y alineamos los talones. I don't know. We separate. Are we trying to say we separate the feet and then align the heels?
No.
Yes, because we have to separate the feet first, right? And then line them up.
Separamos las piernas, alineamos los talones.
So now full pose. So now we talk about the arms. You
I
guys
like Catherine's idea too about the hips, like squaring the hips, because that's a part of it. So that would be a piece, and then the arms as well, right? Hips and arms.
Yeah, we can put that in the full pose.
So elevar los brazos.
So do you want to just say like grab your elbows? Just do the basic one.
Yeah, yeah. Keep it simple.
Opposite elbows.
Okay, I'm confused. What pose are we doing?
So we're doing pyramid fold. We're on the second part where it says full pose. So then I want to grab my elbows behind me and square my hips, right?
Yep.
Andrea always says cuadrar during the classes. Cuadrar las caderas.
Is it
After-
cuadramos?
Cuadramos las caderas.
Okay, I like it.
How do we say agarramos los codos opuestos? Does that sound right?
Agarramos la mano izquierda con el codo derecha. Is that too much talking?
Yeah, I just like how do we say grab opposite elbows?
Well, to grip is agarrar, right? Agarramos los codos opuestos. No.
Right? Yeah.
I think that's fine. Agarramos los codos opuestos. Detrás de la espalda.
Agarramos sounds wrong.
How would you say colocamos?
Colocamos is to place.
How about coger? Cogemos. Cogemos los
Yes, coger. So COGEMOS. Is that what you
Yes.
right? Cogemos. Yeah. Yeah. To take or to grasp.
But I truly don't know if that is going to be the right verb, but it's a guess.
Well, we can try it. I like it.
So cogemos los codos opuestos detrás de la espalda.
See?
Yeah.
That is espalda y cuadramos las caderas.
Mm-hmm.
Who's not? Where are you? Who's quiet? Catherine, help.
Sure. I was just like going through the
Y'all, sorry, I have a question. What did y'all say? Traemos los brazos atrás de las caderas?
No, cogemos.
Cogemos los codos, but with
Okay.
what?
Opuesto.
Pero con,
We're gonna grab opposite elbows.
but do we need to say what we're grabbing it with, or is that just obvious?
I don't know.
Cogemos los codos opuestos con las manos detrás de la espalda. Too much talking.
Well, that's a fair question. I guess I was making the assumption people would know to grasp with their hands, but
We could
Well,
say with
He
Maybe-
mentioned what the word was for interlacing your fingers.
En,
That-
enlazamos.
enlazar,
I think so.
enlazamos. But
Enlazamos.
we're not lacing, we are grabbing. I think coger, but do we need to say manos? We'll just see what Andrew thinks. Maybe we don't need to say manos. We're not using our feet to grab our codos, so.
Okay, I think we should move on to the third one.
so we've
'Cause you
grabbed our elbows, we've squared our hips, and now do we need to bend? We need to fold. We have to, right?
We should talk about the breath here.
Exactly.
So, inhalamos at that
Alargamos.
point. Joanna, will you say that again?
Inhalamos, alargamos la columna. Exhalamos, exhalamos.
Nos doblamos. We're not
Sí.
really,
Well, we need to find space or something or move energy, right?
Send
find-
your breath.
You can find space in your chest, in your heart. Open up your chest.
yeah, we're opening, we could use, what's that? Apertura?
Abrimos, abrir, open. Abrimos el pecho hacia el cielo.
We could say heart. That was really nice. Open your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Corazón.
Abrimos el corazón.
Entonces, inhalamos y alargamos la columna y abrimos el corazón.
I like it.
Do we say anything about where we're bending toward? Encima del muslo izquierda, or is that not necessary? Nos doblamos sobre la pierna izquierda, or
Oh, I don't know. We could say towards the earth, because we didn't really say which leg was forward.
because if it's toward the earth, it's more like humble warrior, and if it's toward the leg, if you're trying to go align your shoulders, you know how you're supposed to align your shoulders? I can't hear
If I
you.
can jump in here, let's have a look at what we've already got, and then maybe we can answer that question. So, which posture were you having a look at today?
Pyramid fold. I'm sorry, guys, for picking such a difficult pose.
No, I think
It
it's
was a good challenge.
But
I
that's
don't
the thing with, you can really reduce even the most complex of postures to about 4 simple cues if you do it right. I had some students in one of my other Spanish classes do eagle pose recently, and I was really impressed. Like, they went from warrior 3 into eagle, and it was super simple how they did it. So I reckon you can do it with pyramid. All right. So what did you do with the stable base, Vicky?
Forgive me because I didn't write it down. I think we had Diana and Joanna typing up, but if I'm correct.
Okay. So who would like to share? Diane?
Forgive me.
No worries.
verbs that we decided to use. One of them was separar los pies, and then, well, separamos los pies y alineamos los talones.
Great, fine. Yeah, why not? Alineamos los talones. It depends what, usually when I'm doing pyramid, my heels are not aligned, but that's just, I like to have my feet at hip width apart.
Yeah.
But I think some people who are super duper flexible in their hips might be able to do that fine.
I think for beginners and for not beginners, for a lot of people, it's probably better to not have them. Maybe we could do options. So how would you turn that into an option?
So
We'll
I
just-
want to avoid too many options right now because we're trying to simplify. But I think for me, the important thing with pyramid is talking about the angle of the back foot. So it depends where you're coming into pyramid pose from, right? Because you might need to do a lot of moving of the feet if you're coming in from warrior 2, for example.
Just Tadasana.
What's that, sorry?
We're just thinking like Tadasana. Just
Then
stepping
in
the
which case, yeah, you might need to say, damos un paso hacia atrás con el pie derecho. And then I would probably say, descendemos el talón al suelo a un ángulo de 45 grados, right? So let me just pop that into the group chat there. Descendemos el talón al suelo. So lower the heel to the ground a un ángulo de 45 grados. Yeah? So lower the heel to the ground at a 45-degree angle. And voila. Okay. So Joanna, what was the next cue that you used to bring people into the full posture?
So the verb was coger y cuadrar, and we said cogemos los codos opuestos detrás de la espalda y cuadramos las caderas.
So I probably want something about the position of the torso as well. So, I mean, from where I am, you've got 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. The torso is still upright, but you've got the hands behind the back, embracing either elbow, right? Mm-hmm. So you might need to add just one more verb there to say, estiramos el torso hacia adelante y abajo.
We use that one for the next one on the inhale to lengthen the spine.
So think about step 2 as bringing people into the complete version of the posture, yeah? So that step 3 is really about con la inhalación extendemos la columna y buscamos más espacio en el torso, for example. Does that make sense?
Sí.
Yeah. So then you're basically, number 3 is refining. Think about step 3 as refining the posture. Okay. And what about Dan? What was your final step in terms of introspective language?
Right.
We didn't get there.
All right. What might you say in English?
What do I say?
Anyone? Yoga teachers. We have at least 4 yoga teachers in this class. What would you say in your pyramid pose if you wanted to be introspective?
Might say something about
maybe talk about the connection from going through you to the sky.
Sure, why not? Sentimos la conexión con la tierra, enraiza tus pies y sube la energía hacia el cielo. Easy, no?
No, not easy.
Well
but
done,
I feel like-
Juliana.
I'm sorry?
I said, well done.
Can you write that out for us?
Yeah. So, sentimos, because we're using the we form, right? Sentimos la conexión con la conexión con la tierra y subimos la energía hacia el corazón o hacia el cielo. Sentimos la conexión con la tierra y subimos la energía hacia el cielo. Yeah, again, just keep it simple. Introspective language doesn't need to be complicated. Okay, so for your homework, you're going to go and produce a few more standing postures. I mean, again, it's up to you to your time constraints, because I know that many of you are busy and have jobs and whatnot. But you have got until next Tuesday, which is the good news. You've got a few days to do it. And again, if you want to submit language to me beforehand that we can have a little look at in class, you can do that. We're also going to have a little bit of teaching practice next time as well. Okay, any questions? All right, well, congratulations, everybody, and well done on those of you who taught today. I was very, very impressed by how much more confident and relaxed you seemed with your Spanish today than even that you did last week. So I think it's really, really showing the hard work that you're putting in.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks,
lovely
ladies.
weekend,
Thanks for
everyone.
the evening.
Andrew, could you put up again my warm up? I just want to look at number 5 again. I just want to make sure I wrote this right.
Sure. Okay, so for everybody else, if you want to head off now, you're most welcome.
Can I wait and talk to you after, Andrew?
Sure. Juliana, if you Joanna, if you like, I can email you the corrected text if you like.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you.
I think we only got as far as number 6.
I don't mind waiting.
So I'll just email that to you later on, okay?
Thank you.
All right, my pleasure.
Thanks,
Bye.
all.
Ciao.
Andrew?
Mhm.
I wanted to ask you if you could send our video from Tuesday's class.
You should have it.
Oh, I looked, but it looked like it was the video from the old sessions, like the last one.
Then
Where
send Tuesday's one as well. Maybe I made a mistake and I sent you along the video from. Did I send you the video from Thursday and not from Tuesday?
Yes, I believe that's what I received.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. No worries, I can do that.
Thank you.
My
All
pleasure.
right, namaste. See you next week.
Well,
Anna.
Ciao.
Okay, what can I help with this evening?
Well, I think what is starting to make more sense to me is I would love to do 2 teacher trainings, but I think that's probably not very realistic for time and for money.
Yeah.
So could we do like an in-depth sequencing and anatomy in Spanish and just really focus on that for July and August? Could we figure out some sort of a, because
private classes, as it were.
Yeah, I mean, it would be, if anyone else was interested, that would be fine with me, but I'm thinking, I don't know how to sequence. I'm learning this kind of in the wrong order, but I feel like it's really important to learn it because this is a rare opportunity. I probably came upon you because of COVID. I don't think I ever would have if it wasn't for that. So if you could just, maybe we could take pieces of a yoga teacher training and I can really work on those. And then I'm going to do the training in October.
Yeah.
And if something happens and I don't, I mean, if we're in that bad of a mess, then I'll just have to figure it out. But that's what I would really love it if you and Andrea could help me learn how to sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a sequencing book, but I don't know the basic components of a sequence. I feel like
Yes.
this is super useful to me, don't get me wrong, but I think it would even mean more if I understood sequencing more.
Sure. And I
Yeah.
think that, I mean, sequencing and asana, they need to be understood very much together with anatomy, for me, the way that I teach it anyway, because I handle the sequencing and the anatomy parts of the teacher training in Flying Tree. And I think really understand the three things kind of have to grow kind of organically together in order to sequence. The way that we teach sequencing in Flying Tree is around a peak posture. So what you need to do is you need to understand fully how the peak posture works. And then when you understand the peak posture, you can begin to select the warm-up postures and the cool-down postures that kind of make sense according to the alignment of that peak. So, I mean, for sure, it's something that we can do. We would make a sort of like a private mini course for you, basically, where we would find a way to simultaneously look at some different asana, to talk about how we can understand asana a little bit better. And once we begin to develop our knowledge of asana, from that point, we can go on to look a little bit more at the anatomy side of things and a little bit more of a look at the sequencing side of things. Now, it's reasonably straightforward for me to talk in Spanish. My presentations are in English, though. So the materials that I will be distributing I mean, I don't have time to start translating all of those into Spanish because they're quite long. They're like 70, 80 pages long, some of them. So yeah, so that would be quite a lot of work.
No, that I don't want you to do that. I mean, that's not, I can't see you. I have to close this.
Oh, yeah.
If we could work on the sequences in Spanish, that would, and then our work together on the cueing and everything, if we could just do all that in Spanish and anatomy, the curriculum you give me, that's fine if that's in English, but whatever you have, our interactions together could be mostly in Spanish.
Yeah, fine.
I would really like that. And then if you could share your book list with me for yoga teacher training in Spanish. And I could show you, do you have a book list when you give yoga teacher training in Spanish?
I do, but again, they're all English language books that I use.
Oh, okay.
So what I can do is I can ask Andrea. I don't know if the thing is she works with a group who produced their own manual, basically. So I don't know if they have particular texts that they recommend to people. I imagine that some of the texts that I use, you can probably find them in Spanish. Some of the Yoga Anatomy by Leslie Kaminoff. Yeah, so I imagine that some you might be able to find in Spanish if you have a look.
And I do have a lot of yoga books in Spanish.
Oh, really?
I just want to do as much in Spanish as I can because
Sure.
I have this beautiful book. It's so nice. It's this Yoga Anatomy.
That's really cool. Who's that by?
Anne Swanson.
Anne Swanson. I don't know that book. No.
It's just a lovely.
Looks great though.
Really a nice book.
Oh, that's beautiful. It looks very similar to one that I use, but the one that I use is definitely by someone else.
But part of the Spanish is I want to try to take. Are you familiar with the test ACTFL? It's a.
I've heard of it, but I'm not very. Wouldn't be able to tell you what's in it though.
It's an oral proficiency exam.
Mm-hmm.
So I am at advanced low, and I want to try to test at advanced medium. And there's really there's a big range within the ranges. So I want to use as much Spanish as I can.
Okay,
and
great.
work, really focus on the Spanish language. So that would be, I would love to have I would love to have a full 200 hours, but I just looked at the time and I think it would be really hard to do that
Sure.
because I'm also watching my grandkids
Yeah.
for 2 days a week. So
Oh no, I mean it's a big commitment at teacher training. Make no mistake, you'll be worked very hard in whichever teacher training you go to.
yeah, and I want to do. I mean, I'm not gonna. Who knows what the future holds? I never predicted this. I really want to come out to Flying Tree. That I'm going to when as soon as because I really need to maintain my Spanish yoga. I don't
Sure.
have much interest in English yoga.
Yeah.
So if we do this course together, would I still have access to the classes?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you mean the Zoom classes?
Yeah, through
Yeah,
Flying Tree.
absolutely. Absolutely.
That kind of part of it because I'm not paying anything for the Zoom classes now. Could I
Well, you
just
paid
take?
us for the course, and that you know that's your contribution towards the Zoom classes.
Okay, because I appreciate them a lot. Well, that would be great, Andrew. If you could just kind of think about, I mean, I don't, I have to be careful and not go crazy because I have to not spend too much money, but
So that would be maybe the useful thing if we could know what your time availability is. So how many hours, more or less, you would be able to spend, and what kind of budget you might be looking at. I'll be able to tell you what we can work out within those two factors. Does that make sense?
yeah, I mean, it totally does. Maybe we should work for like 2-hour stretches,
Mm-hmm.
which,
Well, think
but
about it and send me an email because I think that if you could consider, okay, I have these 6 or 7 weeks that I can work in. Here are the dates. These are my time availabilities during the day. What I want is, well, I know more or less what you want, but and what I would prefer to do are 2-hour time slots, and I have such and such a budget to work with, and we can produce something that will hopefully fit within those requirements.
okay, that sounds like a really good idea.
Perfect. So
I
I'll
would
just
like
wait for that email, and then I'll talk with Andrea, and we'll see what we can make between the two of us that will fit your needs.
Okay, thank you so much, Andrew. Very, very much. And
My
I'm
pleasure.
just
I'm
about,
always glad to help.
yeah, it does. And I have to maintain this though. So do you think you're going to have online workshops after COVID?
I mean, after COVID, that's a great question, isn't it? I mean,
After COVID seems really like,
who
are
knows
we going
when
to
this is
COVID?
going to stop having its effect? I mean, I think they've worked really well so far, and as long as there's demand from, I mean, the thing is, you know, I'm very happy to work with people on a one-on-one basis if there's demand, you know, and I've got the time at the moment, so by all means.
Okay, because I don't have anything like this here. We have one studio that used to teach in yoga and they in Spanish and they don't anymore.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna not worry about that right now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna think about what you said and then send you an email and
Perfect.
we can figure it out. Okay,
All right.
great. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Be well, Diane, and I'll see you after the weekend.
Okay, you too, Andrew. Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.